Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, we are going to be breaking into the 5 best vehicles, at least in my opinion, that are pretty good at keeping you alive in a free mode lobby, especially if you're trying to help somebody with public sale missions or even yourself. Let's get straight into it. Selling in a public lobby is by far one of the scariest and sketchiest things to do in Grand Theft Auto Online, because if you mess up, you can sometimes lose all of your progress and hard work that you've spent hours and hours on working towards. For example, I've had many times doing special cargo where I've had my cargo blown up when I've been doing the Titan, and boom, there goes $2 million and at least 10 to 12 hours of work filling up that single warehouse. It is absolutely devastating to have that happen, and it does happen if you're selling in a public lobby. But at the same time, there's also moments I've been able to sell 1 or 2 or even 3 of my special cargo warehouses in a public lobby and get that 50% massive cash bonus and make back all the money I've lost just from that one warehouse by selling in public lobbies. So it's a weird conundrum. Normally what I say is that if you play on console, it's not a terrible idea to sell in a public lobby if you have 1 or 2 friends to help you out. You can join YouTubers' Discords to ask for help. I've got a Discord, TGG is a Discord. A lot of big YouTubers have Discords that you can ask for help on this kind of stuff. And it's a great way of completing a lot of these missions and getting that massive bonus. If you're on PC like me, well, then it's really up to the player's skill, I guess, because on PC you have the problem of modders. There's a lot more modders on PC than any other console. Because of that, it's really up to the player whether they want to risk doing it. Personally, I do, just because I got so much money, it doesn't matter if I mess up a sale mission or 2. Plus, it's good for content, but I wouldn't always say it's the best for the average player, especially if you're starting off, to do that. But without further ado, let's get into the 5th place vehicle. This is one that I feel is definitely a hot take that a lot of people are either going to agree or disagree with in the comments, but that is the APC, which, as you can see, we have in the back of our Bombushka. Hopefully we can get inside of it. Oh, we actually did. I'm very surprised the game let us get inside of it. But there, how's that for an entrance on a video? The APC is an absolutely fantastic vehicle. It, first of all, features great armor. It's about the same as an Insurgent Pickup Custom, so it can survive upwards of 26 missiles being fired at it. That's a lot more than the Rhino tank or the Kanjali, which is the one a lot of people try to compare this to due to the armaments it carries. But that's first of all great. This vehicle's also fast. I wouldn't say it's incredibly fast or fast compared to, you know, a lot of other vehicles the game has to offer, and especially, you know, vehicles like the Toreador, the Deluxo that can fly, but it's fast for a super heavily armored mine-laying APC. First of all, this thing, yes, can drop mines, which if we look at this red car really quick, if it drives over that red mine, it blows up. Not only does this vehicle have mines, but it has by far one of the deadliest missile barrages in the game. When you stop this vehicle, all you need to do if you're playing on a remote like me is hold left on the D-pad, or actually it's right on the D-pad, sorry, a bit of a mistake there, but if you hold right on the D-pad, you get access to the missile launcher, and this missile launcher is insane. I know a lot of people like the tank turret you can also put on this vehicle, which is just about the same as a Rhino tank gun or the Kanjali, but I think the missiles on this vehicle are pretty insane. The fact that you can just constantly spam them, and I mean, they are insane on the damage they deal, as you can see. These missiles just keep on shooting. They're incredibly fast, and they will decimate anybody trying to chase you. Add that into the fact that if you have 2 people, you can be driving this vehicle and have somebody on the missiles at the same time, plus you can drop mines whenever you want, and yeah, this is an absolutely amazing free mode vehicle to use. I love the APC. I should also add into the fact that it can drive in water, and yeah, it's absolutely sick that it can. Sure, it's not the fastest vehicle in water, but it still gets the job done. And I should also point out that you can swap seats while in the water and once again pull out the missile barrage that this vehicle has access to, making it just incredibly strong in almost every single circumstance. I should also point out that the APC can smash vehicles off the road like this. Hooah! That is just amazing. There's not many vehicles that you can very easily just smash cars off the road with. There's some of them like the Insurgent and the Night Shark, but the APC just so effortlessly does it with no problems whatsoever. And I should also mention, it's actually not a bad off-roader at all. Overall, the APC is a great vehicle. There's really nothing bad I can say about it. It's not the fastest, and sure, it'll take you a bit of time to get to where you want to go, but it will always get you there in one piece. If you have two people driving the vehicle, as I said, you can have somebody mastering the missiles while you're dropping the mines and driving. If you're a solo player using this vehicle, it still has protection. It can still drop mines, plus you can always swap into the missile seat if there's somebody in the air that's trying to hit you. It's just a really solid vehicle, and I definitely choose it over any tank like the Kanjali or the Rhino if you wanted to go for survivability. But with that in mind, let's get into our number 4 place vehicle, which is the Akula. The Akula is just another amazing vehicle. It has the ability to go off the radar, and that is really all I need to say about it that makes it such a good helicopter. Being able to go off the radar whenever you want, wherever you want, as quick as a button's click is by far one of the most important features in the game, and more specifically towards this helicopter. You can be doing a sail mission and not want to be seen when you're either making your way over towards your business or you're trying to cover somebody and you don't want to be seen covering them. Well, it's very easy. You just press right on the D-pad and it raises and lowers your missiles. The moment you raise the missiles, boom, all pilot and passenger weapons are unavailable. When you open up it, boom, you can start instantly shooting missiles. Now, this does not mean you're impervious with the Akula. I should add into the fact that once you do get seen by somebody, even if you are off the radar, you still can be locked on by homing missiles. So do keep that in mind. You're not impervious, but still, being able to be off the radar, if nobody's paying attention to you when you do go off, you are basically untouchable for that amount of time until you start getting people mad. The Akula has unlimited missiles, and it shoots very, very fast missiles, as you can see, just like the Savage or the Sparrow. The Sparrow also has fast flying capabilities, just like the Akula. And finally, the Akula can survive upwards of 3 missiles, I'm pretty sure, which is a pretty decent chunk, especially for a helicopter. It can seat up to 4 people. One person can control the minigun on the front while you're controlling the missiles. Somebody else can control the missiles, and you can control the machine guns as well, which are also other options, although, I'll be honest, the machine guns are pretty useless. But either way, it is still an option that you can use. Overall, this helicopter is amazing for so many different reasons. It has protection. It can go basically invincible for a certain amount of time while you're off the radar, and then instantly go into attack mode, making this one of the best sail mission vehicles to help any of your friends out with. Next up, we have a vehicle that makes just about every list when it comes to Grand Theft Auto Online on survivability and speed, and that is the Oppressor Mark II. The Oppressor Mark II flies at a top speed of 130 miles per hour, and it's pretty simple to achieve. You just gotta press the handbrake on the vehicle. It's going to lower the wings. You can see the wings on the side are out right now, and if I just hold the handbrake, it lowers the wings, which allows you to fly at a much higher top speed. The Oppressor also features missiles, and while they are nerfed, they're still pretty good, especially if you need to nuke somebody in front of you. The vehicle carries flares, which means if there's somebody trying to chase you, you can at least evade a little bit of them with the flares, but it does take, as you can see, a very long cooldown. I'm still spamming them. There you go. So yeah, I think it's about a 15-second cooldown if I'm not mistaken. It's long, but it still is some added protection. Add that into the fact this vehicle can turn on a dime's notice and instantly start shooting homing missiles. It's just an absolutely amazing vehicle to get the job done. It also has an explosive cannon, but it's not very good, I'll be honest. If it was as deadly as like the lasers cannon, it would be really good. Unfortunately, it's not, so it kind of defeats the purpose of it. Now, something else I will add, and the reason why the Oppressor is not higher up on the list is because of the price tag this vehicle now sits at. The Oppressor cost $6 million with the trade price, and $8 million if you don't have the trade price. I should also add that getting your hands on a terabyte to upgrade and store this vehicle is going to cost you another further 1.5 million, plus you got to get the upgrade bay, so like 2 million there, and then you finally got to spend the money to upgrade this vehicle. In total, this is going to cost you over $10 million. Owning the Oppressor Mark II now, as a new player in Grand Theft Auto Online, is the most expensive vehicle that you can essentially purchase in the game, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Now, I don't think that's bad, because the Oppressor Mark II is a pretty annoying vehicle to deal with, but at the same time, the majority of griefers already have one, so yeah, it's just kind of making it harder for new people to get their hands on this vehicle. Either way, the Oppressor Mark II is still an amazing purchase, and if you make quick work of the Cayo Perico heist, whether you're doing the replay glitch or you're earning it legitimately, it's not going to be all too long before you have your hands on this vehicle. Personally, my favorite on the list, making its way into the number 2 slot, we have the Ocelot Virtue. Not only is this an absolutely amazing looking supercar, it's fast. It goes at a top speed about 122 miles per hour. It's also got some of the fastest acceleration in the game for a normal type of car. And when I say normal, I don't mean rocket boost or anything like that. Obviously, the Vigilante can achieve a higher top speed faster with the rocket boost, but this vehicle's top speed and the way it accelerates up to it is insane, especially because you can use this car in any single mission you want. But even with that aside, for a public session, this is probably one of the most important vehicles you can own. Because it's an electric car that has a lot more survivability than a lot of the other Amani Tech vehicles in the game. I'm not sure why Rockstar made it so that the Obey Ominous EGT and this vehicle have much more survivability, but by far, the Obey Ominous EGT is the best when it comes to missile capabilities. It can survive 12 homing missiles and 12 RPGs, sticky bombs, grenades, whatever you're going to throw at it, it can survive 12 as long as the person's driving it, which is an insane amount. The problem I have with the EGT is, first of all, it's not nearly as fast or good on handling as the Virtue, but as well, the Virtue's free. You can get your hands on this vehicle just by completing the last dose missions. So this is just a flat better deal for really all that's considered. I should also add into the fact that you can get the Virtue pretty easily, and the final part is that the Virtue can still survive 10 homing missiles and 10 RPGs, which is only 2 less than the EGT, and judging that you can't home on this vehicle as long as you put on the missile lock-on jammer, it essentially makes this car impervious. I mean, you're never going to get blown up. If you die driving this vehicle, the only reason is because you went too close to somebody and allowed them to shoot you with a gun, because it does not carry bulletproof glass. But still, the Virtue is an absolutely amazing must-have car. If you have not gotten this car yet, I would highly suggest you take a little bit of time out of your day, whatever you're doing, if you're playing GTA, and just finish the last dose missions. You will not regret it. The car is super fun to drive, it's super fast, plus, because it actually has some weight as an electric vehicle, and it's got a lot of speed, you can actually smash cars off the road quite easily. As you can see, smashing into these SUVs. These SUVs are quite a bit bigger and heavier than me, but I'm still easily able to hit them pretty hard and push them out of my way, which you can see right here. Overall, I really like the Virtue. It's a pretty fun car. It's definitely not the best in the world when it comes to missiles or anything like that and dealing with people, but it is very, very good on its base attributes. I should also point out that it does have slick lines, which means if anybody's trying to chase you on ground, these slick mines make it very hard to actually chase somebody. For example, if you drive over one of these slick mines, you can see it just completely throws your car off course, which is absolutely really, really good. Overall, I love the Virtue. It's a great car on almost every aspect apart from defensive capabilities. And in the first place, we have a vehicle that a lot of you probably expected to make this list, which is the Toreador. By far, one of the best vehicles ever released in Grand Theft Auto Online. Even though the vehicle's price tag went up a little bit by about $600,000 from $3.66 million to $4.2 million, this is still an absolute must-have car. First of all, it features missiles, and it features unlimited missiles. It's not like a lot of your other cars in the game or any sort of weaponized vehicle that has a amount of missiles you can have. You have an unlimited amount. I can just keep shooting and shooting and shooting all day. I'll never run out. The vehicle carries a super speed boost, allowing it to go upwards of 140 miles per hour if you use it correctly down the highway. The vehicle has one of the deadliest miniguns in the game. For example, if I shoot at this car here, it's going to blow up quite fast, as you can see, and it does that to any car. This car over here, I'm just going to shoot out with the machine gun, boom, blows up. This car over here, I'm going to shoot out with the machine gun, and even though it's pretty far away from me, boom, blows up. It is absolutely insane how much damage this machine gun does. In fact, I tested it the other day, today with the Stromberg, which features the same damage coefficients on the minigun, and it does the same damage essentially as a minigun, which is absolutely ridiculous. The other aspect of the Toreador, which is absolutely amazing, is that it survives, I think, 8 homing missiles, or the 8th one blows it up, which is a ridiculous amount of firepower it can withstand. Overall, this vehicle has so much going for it, and even though it is expensive, I would definitely say that this is well worth the investment. If you don't want to buy a vehicle as expensive as this, you can buy the Stromberg, which is basically a tuned down version of the Toreador, for about 1.8 million, which is still a pretty decent deal in my opinion. It's got a lot of really good things going for it, like the same amount of missiles it can survive. It comes with missiles pre-equipped, which is really good, saves you a lot of money, especially the upgrade cost. And I should also point out that both of these vehicles can go underwater, although I'm kind of stuck at the tennis courts right now. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I really like both of these cars. I think they're honestly amazing purchases, the Toreador and the Stromberg, and it's really down to what you're looking for as a user, or if you're trying to save money or not. Either way, hopefully this video helped you out, and let me know if it did. I hope that I helped some of you at least on what vehicle you're going to use in a Freemode session. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.